Greetings from the car. So Rob is out there filling up the gas tank. We are headed to another West Virginia state park this weekend. We're going somewhere I've never been before. So we are headed to Lost River State Park. It's in the eastern side of the state. It's like close to the Eastern Panhandle. I don't think it's officially in the Eastern Panhandle. It's a smaller park, but they have cabins and a pool and hiking trails, and there's a pretty cool overlook trail. And then I think there's also some stuff to do in the nearby town of Moorfield, and I think maybe later in the weekend we might hit some more like scenic areas within West Virginia. But we are excited. My hair is a different color now, so if you have noticed, my hair changes colors frequently. It's like purple, we'll call it right now. So it's not blue, it's not purple. But anyways, we are excited for our weekend. Hopefully they are calling for a chance of rain, scattered thunderstorms and showers for the whole weekend. So fingers crossed that we are able to actually do some of the stuff that we have planned. If not, we packed cards and we'll just hang out at the cabin and have a good time there. But come along. Good morning. So we have made it to our destination. We're outside of the car now. It is a beautiful morning. We got in last night, but it was raining and it was dark, so we really didn't have anything to show you. But we're staying here. And we spent the morning hanging out and just like drinking coffee on the porch. My Fitbit has not been synced, so it thinks it's 6:45. I don't know. But we just set up the hammock. Anyways, so let's go see who's in the hammock. Hello.
Hello. Hi. This is my home. I like this because it has this pouch, so all I gotta do is put it over here, and now I can sleep with no one looking at me.
I'm looking at you.
But the time of day is 11:39.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's 11:30, and we had breakfast late, and I think Dad and Anna are getting some lunch, and then we're gonna head around the park and check things out. We'd originally planned to hike to the Cranny Crow overlook, but there's threat of thunderstorms this afternoon, so we didn't want to start out on a hike and then get caught in a storm. So we forewent that option and are just going to do some other stuff in the area. It'll be fun.
So we've made it to the park headquarters from our cabin. This is a cool little area. First time being here. Hal, what do you think so far?
I haven't seen much of the park yet, but I'm excited to check it out.
Cabins are super nice.
Yes, I really like our cabins. It's probably one of my favorite cabins, state park, West Virginia wise, that we've stayed in.
Definitely. So coming onto the porch here of the park headquarters, I love these chairs. So this is our first time being here, and it's really nice. So we're gonna take a look inside this gift shop and do a little more walking around. I love it when places build their decks around nature, so rhododendron's coming up through in the tree. But definitely gonna probably get wet today. It's looking a little gloomy. Decisions, which to put on our cooler. We have this in a magnet, and that's already on the cooler. So I think I'm gonna end up getting just the Lost River. So we've made it down to the pool area. A little smaller than Holly River. But a nice little deck area over there. And then up there is the sports courts.
Well, hello there. We are somewhere interesting. It smells interesting, that's for sure.
It smells like rotten eggs.
Oh, well, there's good reason for that. So we are at the Sulphur Springs. So you check it out. It's got all these mineral deposits coming down. So the water is like pink. And it smells really bad. It smells like sulfur.
So we've made it to the ball field, and whoever's playing right field has a little work to do. But we just walked from the Sulphur Springs that are down there and the Lee Museum, which opens in a little bit. You would never be able to tell by the sky that they're calling for severe thunderstorms this afternoon. So we're trying to decide what we want to do.
Sure.
Maps, how do they work? Here. Wish that same metalwork is done at Holly River. But we just got done walking the headquarters, or sorry, the pool area is on the other side of that. You'll run into that building right there is the spring, and actually that's the bathhouse. The spring's down from it a little bit in the Lee Museum. And then over here is the ball field. So we are on a trail. Hooray! But love all these ferns and the moss. It's really pretty. There's Hallie.
So we are in the Lee Museum. It is a historical home that was built by Lighthorse Lee, and it's not in its current location. It was like 100 yards that way. We'll show you outside. But they have turned it into a museum about stuff about the park and about the period that the land was owned and the house was built. So I'll show you some of those photos.
Looks like.
So a lot of these photos are from the CCC. So you can see this was their camp when they were building the park. And so they had masons here working and people doing timbering and building trails. And the site was chosen by the CCC to build a state park in the 30s because it was historical and it was pretty. So that's why they chose it. The CCC camp was called Camp Hardy, and the result was Lost River State Park.
So this building that they are standing in front of is the building that we're in right now. They completely reconstructed it, and there's some logs you can still see where they've numbered everything and put it back together. But that's where they stayed when they built it back during the CCC. But some great views. Very cool.
And this is what it used to look like. So this used to be a really nice resort back in the turn of the century. So there's a Sulphur Spring here that we already showed you. And so they had this like super nice 2-story hotel, and
which
they
is
had a bowling alley.
And that's the hotel that used to be here before this was a state park.
I mean, this shows you all the different things. So they had baths and
bowling alleys. But really cool. So here's the picture of them building all the cabins. So there's some legacy cabins that we're staying in. And that's the spring. And I think this is actually the cabin that we're staying in. So we are upstairs. They've got some artifacts. So Hallie had told us that there was a bowling alley here, and it does not look the way it used to.
So this is from turn of the century.
Yeah, that's a bowling pin, and that's a bowling ball. Looks a little different. And then through the window over there, that is the Sulphur Spring. But pretty cool. All these artifacts have been donated. And then if you go over to this side, you have what it would look like as a bedroom, complete with electricity.
So this is like a fancy map about Lost River from back in the day. So that's what the springs would look like. It looks a lot different than what we have now. It looks like this now. And it's just kind of like an overall map of the borders of the park. And then this area down here is like where we are. So there's all this other park on this side.
So this is the Lee house that we just went through. It used to be located over in that area where the swing set is. But there is the Sulphur Spring. But this house originally was down a little bit further, but as you can see, there is now a basement, which isn't really a basement, but a foundation that was put there by the CCC.